Good morning. It is Groundhog Day. It is Monday, February the 2nd of 2026. The time is 8:07. Currently in downtown Wausau. Overcast skies, temperature a balmy 18 degrees. Have not seen a temperature like this when we've got things underway for a while. Couple of weeks at the very least, but a warmer start here this morning. Glad you could be with us. It is the Monday edition of the Chad Holmes Show here on 98.9 WXCO. We are online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO on the Civic Media app and on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel, you can join us there as well. And of course, in hour number 2 of the program, we will be exclusively online. You can go to our YouTube channel. We have that going for the entirety of the program, both the 8 and 9 o'clock hours. And you can also tune in for the audio version by going to WXCO.FM and the Civic Media app and then clicking on the Sports 2 stream to be able to be with us as well. We got plenty on the plate coming up here over the next couple of hours. At 8:35 this morning, we'll be joined by Brenton Canese to discuss a big fundraising event that will be occurring at the Wausau Country Club in support of the Wausau Conservatory of Music. That will be coming up at 8:35. We'll get more information on that. Plus, we'll be talking about the news headlines and a whole bunch more. And we would love you to be part of the show. We want your voice to be heard each and every day. And if you have something that's on your mind, whether it is being part of one of the protests over the weekend or just something that has occurred in the news, we want to hear from you at 715-814-9330. That's 715-814-9330 to be part of the program. Let your voice be heard here on 98.9 WXCO. And if you do call, you will hear the voice of our in-studio engineer, Mr. Ian Welsh. And Ian, across the way behind the glass, good morning to you.
Good morning, Chad. We seem to be having some issues. I'm listening to the radio in the other room, and there's nothing coming through at all. So I don't know what's going on with the system. I tried to reset the satellites, and
why don't we take a 1-minute timeout? I'm going to take a peek here and see what I can find out. So we'll come back in just one moment here on 98.9 WXCO.
And it serves the community. WXCO is no different, and we're looking to add someone to our staff that is well connected around town. Someone who can help our local businesses increase traffic and their visibility among our audience. From connecting clients with high school sports, local news and weather, or the Chad Holmes Show. If you know local business owners, we'd like to get to know you. If you'd like to know more about this opportunity, send me, Chad Holmes, a message at chad.holmes@civicmedia.us. That's chad.holmes@civicmedia.us. And let's set up a time to talk.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Wisconsin. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
So, how are the kids?
Well, Emily made the honor roll.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, we're really proud of her. Tyler, on the other hand, though,
What's going on?
he's been moody lately, just feeling down and not like himself.
Oh, we've been there. Nick was struggling last spring. He was so anxious and stressed.
Really? What helped?
Well, he joined the soccer team, and ever since, he's been a lot happier. He has more energy, he's less stressed, and he's definitely in a better mood at home. It's made a huge difference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting out of the house, he's getting some exercise, and he's off his phone for once. It's been good for his mental health.
Sounds like it's been good for your mental health, too.
Participating in Wisconsin high school sports improves students' physical and mental health. Encourage your son or daughter to get involved. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
I've been knocking on the door that holds the throne. I've been looking for the map that leads me home. I've been stumbling on good hearts turned to stone. The road of good intentions is gone dry as a bone. We take care of our own. We take care of our own. Wherever this flag's flown, we take care of our own. From Chicago to New Orleans, from the muscle to the bone. From the shotgun shack to the Superdome. There ain't no help, the cavalry stayed home. There ain't no one here in the bugle bone. We take care of our own. We take care of our own. Wherever this flag's flown, we take care of our own. the sea? Where the hearts that run over with mercy? Where's the love that has not forsaken me? Where's the work that'll set my hands, my soul free? Where's the spirit that'll reign over me? Where's the promise from sea to shining sea? Where's the promise from sea to shining sea? Wherever this flag is flown, wherever this flag is flown, wherever this flag is flown, we take care of our own. We take care of our own. Wherever this flag's flown, we take care of our own. We take care of our own. We take care of our own. Wherever this flag's flown, we take care of our own. Well, you know you had it coming to you. Now there's not a lot I can do. Dreamer, stupid little dreamer. So now you put your head in your hands, oh no. Woo! I said, oh, what a day, a year, a life it is. You know, well you know you had it coming to you. Now there's not a lot I can do.
Good morning. You know, those are the Bengals, and maybe should have played Manic Monday as well, because you hate to start the week this way, but we had some technical issues right at the top of the show. And yes, it took a while, but the folks down in Madison, I thank very much, because they're the ones that actually fixed the issue. It took a little while, but they were able to figure out what the issue was. And we are back on the air here on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO on the Civic Media app and on YouTube at youtube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel. We just have a couple of minutes before we have a scheduled break. I know after all the first hour, the idea of having a break is kind of silly, but after the break, we're going to bring in Brenton Canese of the Wausau Conservatory of Music to talk a little bit about an upcoming event that they have coming, a very special event coming up at the Wausau Country Club. But before we go any further, I know that across the way behind the glass, also pulling his hair out this morning, was Ian Welsh. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Chad. I'm not really pulling my hair out too much. I just got a haircut last night, so I don't have much hair to pull out anyway. But just thank you for bearing with us. And, you know, technology is only great when it works.
No kidding. I mean, but again, it happens. I mean, we've been very fortunate. And I know that Brenton probably thinks otherwise, but I told him this has not happened. I mean, this is just something that is exceptionally rare that I can recall. But for those of you who just been listening to Dead Air for a while, I'm glad you stuck around. And we will be with you until 10 o'clock. We will have our online hour coming up after 9, from 9:06 until 10 a.m. and be able to catch up on everything that we would have talked about up to this point.
Right.
But again, stick around after 9 o'clock, as we do each and every weekday from 8 till 9. We are live here on 98.9 WXCO, WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO and the Civic Media app. And then from 9:06 until 10 a.m., we are with you online on YouTube, youtube.com, and the 98.9 WXCO channel. Also on WXCO.FM and the Civic Media app on the Sports 2 stream. Also, real quickly, I want to let you know that I will get a little extra time today, because at 10 o'clock, at 10:06 actually, I will be joining Greg Bach for Civic Media mid-mornings. I'll be joining Greg for a couple of segments in the first half hour of the 10 o'clock hour of his show. So again, at 10:06, I'll be back talking to Greg Bach as well. But we're going to come right back and talk to Brenton Canese coming up next. With Ian Welsh, I am Chad Holmes. It is 18 degrees above zero. Yeah, it's warmer today. Maybe that's what threw us off, but we'll be right back. The time is 8:49, 98.9 WXCO. And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show on 98.9 WXCO. As we continue this morning, let's get back into the rhythm of things. I'm very happy to welcome across the table again. We've had on a number of times over the last couple of years, Brenton Canese from the Wausau Conservatory of Music, one of the hats that you wear. But we're going to be talking about a great event going on with the Conservatory. Brenton, thanks again for coming on by.
Thanks for having me, Chad.
Well, coming up in early March, it's I love the idea again of a really special kind of a big event. And this feels like a big event you're going to be holding at the Wausau Country Club. Lots of entertainment, lots of great food. Let's get the basics. What is happening with the Conservatory on March the 7th?
Yeah, so it's our annual fundraiser gala. And what's special about this year, it's our 45th anniversary. Last time we had our big anniversary year, 40 years, it was 2021. So it was kind of still a COVID year.
Yeah.
So we just did like a half-hour video thing, and it was nice having some legacy faculty members in the video. But this time we actually get to celebrate. And the theme is the Enchanted Garden, and it's really focusing on the conservatory's roots within the community and how our students, they grow out. Sometimes they go out of the community and they do bigger and better things.
Mm-hmm.
But really it just stems from the power of music and how it's instilled in everybody, and everyone has that talent. You just got to come out and find that potential.
And the thing about it that I think is so impressive, and of course, we'll talk about how this money goes towards scholarships and tuition assistance for the students. You talk about the incredible talent that we have here in Central Wisconsin that you're nurturing and then go on to really big things. But it's not just that. It's about anyone who has that love of music to be able to learn a little bit more. It is a wide variety of people that come through the doors at the Conservatory, right?
Yeah, we have 3 months old to about 95 years old.
We hear that all the time. That's always one of the cool things.
That's right. It's a wide range. And, it's what's great about this fundraiser is all the proceeds go towards our tuition assistance and scholarship program, which is huge for us. We give out more than $50,000 in tuition assistance and scholarships. And music is somewhat of a form of therapy for some people. It's a nice form of medicine, for some people who may not be able to afford certain procedures or just types of therapy. It's their way of finding an outlet for themselves and giving them some time out of their day, out of their lives to just enjoy the power of music and learn something too, right? Education goes just beyond school age kids. It's anyone can learn music at any time. Again, you're picking up an old hobby or learning something new. That's what's great about music.
And again, maybe I'm off on this, but it has a feel, the Conservatory, of something that you would get maybe in a bigger city. To have it here in Wausau, to have the Wausau Conservatory music here in our community, I think is such an important aspect. You don't have to travel to get this kind of talent that you do have within the walls of the Conservatory in terms of teaching.
Right. Yes. And majority of our concerts and recitals are free to the public, which is great, giving people an outlet to come and see the talent. We just had our faculty recital a couple weeks ago. That was free. If you were in another bigger city, you would have to pay money to see that. But here we offer that free. And, we also work with Marathon County Head Start for kids who are within the under the federal poverty line. Right. So giving them an opportunity to explore music with one of our faculty members who goes there each month and has a good experience with them, and they can take something with them.
Again, we're talking to Brenton Canese, Wausau Conservatory of Music, their fundraiser gala, the Enchanted Garden, coming up on March the 7th at the Wausau Country Club. There's a lot going on that evening. Great food, great entertainment, and great talent, isn't there?
Yes,
there is. What are you going to get if you decide to go on?
Well, I'll tell you this. The dinner is spectacular. This isn't your usual chicken or beef type dinner. The menu is crafted for the evening. So they don't serve any of this food throughout the year during the country club. It's special for that night. So it's a lot of farm to table ingredients and recipes put together. So it's going to be a great dinner, 4-course dinner. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres, live music from students and faculty members, and there'll be a lot of opportunities for people to win raffle items and bid on silent auction items. And again, we have a lot of great prizes, and sometimes you can't find these prizes anywhere else in town. There's a lot of fundraisers in that, but we're able to acquire some really special prizes. And you don't have to be in attendance also to bid in the silent auction. We offer online silent auction, and that will be opening on March 4th. So people who can't attend, they can check that out. Otherwise, they can just make a donation if they can't attend as well.
To get the tickets. And I know that we've talked about this in the past. It's important to try to get that number as early as possible.
Yes.
So you like to have folks who are interested in coming get the tickets early, correct?
Right. Yeah. The deadline for tickets is Friday, February 20th. And that's really just to get our food countdowns. We're prepared for the evening and just ensuring it's a great night. So people have until Friday, February 20th to get those tickets.
How can they get the tickets?
So they can get the tickets at wasaconservatory.org/gala, or they can stop by the conservatory Monday through Friday, and we'll be able to get them tickets for them.
And again, we will have as part of our show notes the links in order to get these tickets where you can get them. But again, the best place to start is going to the Wausau Conservatory website, wasaconservatory.org. And again, get those tickets by February the 20th. Again, just an outstanding event. Hors d'oeuvres, a 4-course dinner, student performances to celebrate the 45th anniversary coming up on Saturday, March the 7th at the Wausau Country Club from 5:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. Anything we're missing here, Brenton, before we wrap it up?
I just like to thank our sponsors, WSAW News Channel 7, UMR, and Incredible Bank. It's great to make this event happen. And again, it helps us keep more funds to our tuition assistance and scholarship program. So we appreciate that.
45 years. Pretty
That's
amazing,
right,
isn't
yes.
it? I mean,
Sure
really,
is.
it is. It's a fantastic piece of our community, and it's a great event, and so many incredible talents have gone through your doors over the years. Brenton, again, thank you for coming on in. Best of luck as this event gets closer and closer, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again sometime soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chad.
That is Brenton Knies, Wausau Conservatory of Music. Again, coming up, join us online after 9 o'clock at 9:06, YouTube, youtube.com, and the 98.9 WXCO channel, or at WXCO.FM and the Civic Media app, Sports 2 stream. There's a lot to talk about here as we start off the new work week. It's Monday, February the 2nd, Groundhog Day. With Ian Welsh, I am Chad Holmes. Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO.
All I need is a TV show, that and the radio. Down on my luck again, down on my luck again. I can show you some of the people in my life. I can show you.
Good morning. It is Groundhog Day, Monday morning, February the 2nd of 2026. The time is 9:07. Currently overcast skies and 18 degrees in downtown Wausau. We are live from our WXCO studios at the corner of Washington Street and North 3rd Street in downtown Wausau. I am Chad Holmes. It is the Chad Holmes Show, live online at WXCO's YouTube channel, the 98.9 WXCO YouTube channel. So search out 98.9 WXCO on YouTube, subscribe, and be able to watch the entire show, both the first and second hour, right here on YouTube. You can also catch us right now on WXCO.FM and the Civic Media app by clicking on the Sports 2 stream. And I always feel silly saying Sports 2 stream because this is not a sports show, but we started the alternate streams because we would often have additional games. We'd have one game live on the radio and then one game live on our stream online, so you could catch whichever game you're interested in live. It's still listed as the Sports 2 stream. Maybe someday I'll get them to switch it to the Stream 2. But it is basically Stream 2, our Sports 2 stream. And you can join us in the 9 o'clock hour there every weekday morning. Taking a deep breath now. You know, when you have those issues, and I have to admit, I Monday mornings are always hard for me because every Sunday, I don't drag myself out of bed until late.
Yeah.
It's like the one day where I just lay in bed forever. I have the radio on. I'm listening.
Take a day off.
To music. I'm not even listening to talk radio. I'm just listening to music. And by the way, if you're somebody that wants a little change of pace on Sunday mornings, from 9 until noon, it's Music of the Stars. It's old-time music, old-time radio shows. Lots of really classic radio. And it's a very different kind of program than we have the rest of the week. And it's right here on 98.9 WXCO. So, again, if you've never tuned in on Sunday morning from 9 to noon, check out Music of the Stars. It's a long-time running show from Southeast Wisconsin that's been on our airways for a while as well. And a real different way to kind of relax on a Sunday because we spend the rest of the week talking about the news and the headlines and all the controversy that's going on out there. It's really something that is terrific. So, again, Music of the Stars, Sunday mornings from 9 until noon on 98.9 WXCO. We would love you to be part of the program. And you can even complain that we weren't on the air first hour. I'll take it. 715-814-9330. That's 715-814-9330 to join us. We'll be talking a lot about the headlines that are going on here this morning. I want to talk a little bit later in the hour. A story that came out Friday is part of the dump of the Epstein files, and it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has something to do with the person that is basically in charge of the New York Giants football team. He was part of the email trove. And what we're seeing is how incredibly deep these tentacles are going. And there's reasons, I think, to worry that so much political power, financial power has been put into this whole Epstein business and putting folks into positions where blackmail is a possibility. So I want to talk a little bit about the people who are supposed to be among our best. I've never really believed it, but a lot of folks tend to equate financial success with somehow being better or even morally more fit. And that's not the case at all. So we're going to talk a little bit about that coming up. But before we go any further, we need to introduce our in-studio engineer, our producer, the one, the only, the person that you'll hear when you call in to let your voice be heard on this program, Ian Walsh. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Chad.
Do you believe in the groundhog? Do you believe that the groundhog is the world's greatest weather prognosticator?
Well, I don't know if I believe he's the greatest weather predictor, but I do admire the tradition of the groundhog, and I think it holds a special place for many people. You know, plus I think Puxatawny Phil is very cute.
Well, there's probably one of the more famous groundhogs in Wisconsin is actually named Jimmy the groundhog.
Oh,
He's down in Sun Prairie, and just earlier this morning, Sun Prairie brought out Jimmy the groundhog.
Mhm.
And the good news is that Jimmy the groundhog predicts an early spring down in Sun Prairie.
you didn't see his shadow down there?
Apparently not. So an early spring maybe for Wisconsin. You talked about Puxatawny Phil,
Yep.
one of the stars of the Bill Murray movie Groundhog Day
Ah, it's a classic
in
movie.
Puxatawny, Pennsylvania. I know that was a wonderful, wonderful movie. Bill Murray, Andy McDowell, Chris Elliott,
My
Puxatawny Phil,
gosh.
all part of the big cast of Groundhog Day. And Puxatawny Phil made his appearance earlier today as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep. You saw it in the movie what they did. They get the mayor out there and they bring him out of his
Mhm.
little hideaway.
Yep.
And Puxatawny Phil today is predicting 6 more weeks of wintry weather after he saw his shadow this morning. His annual prediction was translated. You saw the translation during the movie.
Uh-huh.
They translated it by his handlers at Gobbler's Knob in western Pennsylvania. The Puxatawny Groundhog Club says that when Phil is deemed to have not seen the shadow, that means there'll be an early spring. When he does see it, it's 6 more weeks of winter. And Phil tends to predict a longer winter far more often than an early spring. But the thing about it is, when you say 6 more weeks of winter,
Uh-huh.
well, if you look at the calendar, yes, there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. The calendar says there's 6 more weeks of winter.
That's right.
Late March, that's when spring begins. So I always found that to be rather humorous. Yeah, 6 more weeks of winter. Well, yes, there is going to be 6 more weeks of winter. No matter what, there's going to be 6 more weeks of winter.
We're not quite out of the woods yet.
Yeah. But the good news is, actually, after all this cold weather we've been dealing with, we're finally, did it feel warmer when you came into work this morning?
It did, absolutely. Saturday was very beautiful. The sun was out and I didn't have to bundle up a lot. I still had my heavy jacket on, but I didn't have to bring out the thick a scarf or anything. It was very nice, and today was a very good temperature as well. In fact, I was looking at the temperatures for the rest of the week, and we get a slight dip in the middle of the week. But then by the weekend, it should get into the low 30s around here.
I don't know. I think they must have changed it because according to our National Weather Service forecast for the weekend, Saturday 18, Sunday 24. At least that's what the National Weather Service says. And again, when you talk about 4, 5, 6, 7 days out, it often gets changed. So what we say today could be completely wrong. Maybe you'll be right in the end, but you're right. Today it's be a nice day, partly sunny and 23, which is about, knocking down my water here. Good thing I had the cover on it, or else people got upset with me. But
I think you said that 21 or 22 was about average for this time of year.
I'm actually going to look it up right now to see what the average high temperature is for today here in Wausau.
Whatever the case is, it's better than negative 25.
No kidding, huh?
Ugh.
Today, the average high temperature is 25 degrees. So we'll be slightly below it with 22 degrees, but still.
At least we're in the double digits.
Close enough to be, better than it's been. But then tonight, again, it dips down a little bit. When we come in tomorrow morning, it'll be a little bit cooler. Partly cloudy, a low of 1 below. Tuesday, sunny and a high of 19. Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high of 21.
So don't put away the winter gear
No.
just yet, people. You need to wait until the middle of March.
I want to remind folks, and because I actually have something very interesting to ask you, because I saw something last night.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to bring it up with you in just a moment. But I want to remind folks that tonight we have ourselves a massive high school hockey game. It is the biggest I think it is the biggest game of the regular season in any of the sports that we do.
Get the popcorn ready.
I think it's going to be massive. It's going to be a overflow, standing room only crowd at the Marathon Park Ice Arena. I expect our audience to be as big as any we've had all season long.
Awesome.
It is going to be just big. Wausau West and Stevens Point in high school hockey. The Warriors are 19-1 overall. They've won 10 games in a row. They are 6-1 in the Wisconsin Valley Conference. And then you have the Stevens Point Panthers. They are 17-2 overall. They are in first place in the conference at 7-0. The only game that Wausau West has lost all season long came to Stevens Point last month. Actually late, it's already February, so it's not last month. It was actually late December the 23rd. Spash defeated the Warriors 5-0 over at the KB Willett Ice Arena. So Wausau West and Stevens Point. West needs a win in order to get a tie in the Wisconsin Valley Conference for the championship. Stevens Point with a win would clinch outright the conference championship. And I will be at the Marathon Park Ice Arena. I got my spot all set up because all the people are going to be all over the place. I'll be on the air at 6:35 for the pregame, 7 o'clock for the opening face-off. If you can't make it to Marathon Park, tune in live right here on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. In fact, it's a very busy week of high school sports. Nice. I will not be home all week long. I'm going to be either working here or I'll be off on the road doing high school sports. Because
good thing you had yesterday off.
There you go. Tomorrow night, another big game with conference championship implications. The Central Wisconsin Storm will host Black River Falls. The Storm, one loss in the conference. Black River Falls is undefeated. So the Storm, like Wausau West tonight, have to win in order to likely get a share of the conference championship. Storm and Black River Falls tomorrow night, 6:35 airtime on 98.9 WXCO and online. Thursday night, good rivalry game. Wausau West hockey against DC Everest at 6:35. Friday night, Wausau West boys basketball at Stevens Point at 7 o'clock. And Saturday, Central Wisconsin Storm hockey at Hudson, 1:35 airtime right here on 98.9 WXCO and online. Friday night, I made the long trek to Spooner, 2.5 hours each way.
My gosh.
Safely made it home.
Very good.
It was well after midnight. Slept in Saturday, went off and did the Warrior hockey game Saturday night. And then yesterday, I never got out of my sleeping gear. I just was hanging out at home the entire day. Never said a word yesterday. I was resting my voice yesterday for a
very
big week.
Important.
So
that's
I said,
good.
I need to take a day off, not be talking all the time. So that's what I did yesterday. But, looking at that schedule, I just shake my head. I mean, that's a lot of high school sports action.
Yeah.
Why do we do that? Why am I so busy? Why am I taking the risk of losing my voice with so much activity? Not only doing the show every morning, not only becoming a guest on the Greg Bach show later this morning, doing the big high school sports show on Wednesday night. So even the one night I don't have a game, I'll be here doing the big high school sports show. And then, of course, all this action as we are now just a couple of weeks away from the start of the playoffs. So
that's right.
Why do we do this?
It's because we are very, very proud to be the only local Wausau radio station that covers play-by-play action of high school sports.
Darn right. And again, it is really, and I would again encourage you folks out there to go out there, and if you have not been to a high school event, go out there and see it. The price is so wonderful. It is, you get such great entertainment. You'll see neighbors. You'll be able to support the youth of the community. So again, if you have an opportunity to see a high school sports event, get out there and enjoy it. Tonight, if you're going to go to the game, I imagine get there early because I do think it's going to be a packed house at Marathon Park. You may want to just stay home and listen to the game and then go to another game where there's a little bit more room to maneuver. But again, it is something that is very exciting. Again, I would encourage folks to get out there and support the student athletes, not just for Wausau West or Newman Catholic, who we do the games for, but for Wausau East and DC Everest and Marathon and Mosinee and Merrill and Edgar and everybody else, Northern Lutheran. They're all here out there providing incredible entertainment and really doing some good things, and a lot of fun to be out there and cheering them on. So get out there and cheer on those student athletes and meet some new friends and see your neighbors. All right. Now, I saw something last night, It must have been. It was actually pretty late in the evening when I saw this. I was, hanging out, uh, checking out the online activity late
Okay.
at night before I went to bed, and I saw a posting from somebody named Ian Welsh. Ian Welsh put out a
Oh,
posting last night, um, and says, and this was on Ian Welsh's Facebook page. And if you have not become friends with Ian Welsh yet, I think you should definitely do so because he's somebody you need to know. But Ian Welsh was 11 hours ago. So that was about after 10 o'clock, around 10 o'clock last night.
pretty close.
He
yeah.
says, now that I have a better understanding of my work life and free time, I'm very excited to announce my first ever movie. I'm still working on the final touches to start creating, but this is a great way to get the ball rolling and get people excited. See for yourself, and you have a trailer.
Yes, I made a teaser trailer of a little short film I'm going to be working on for the next few months, and hopefully to release it by July of this year.
So you're in the midst of starting rehearsals for your latest theatrical production,
among other
the
things.
25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee with the Wausau Community Theater. You're working for me every day and some nights, and doing your work here. You have do some work with another radio station as well on the weekends, especially. And then you're going to do a movie. Anything you want to share about this movie?
Well, I don't want to give too much away because I'm still, working on finalizing like the story outline and how I want to proceed. However, I will tell you the name of the movie. It's called Toon World, and it's going to pay a homage to well, the character in the movie I'm working on is a big fan of the old time cartoons. I'm talking like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, the Flintstones. So it's going to pay a lot of homage to the old classic cartoons, and just it's going to be a very imaginative and very fun-filled movie. And I'm going to be working very hard on this. I'm going to make sure that I, keep all my other work and theater responsibilities first. But as long as I have downtime, I am going to be working on that movie.
So, is there going to be actual animation involved in it? Or is this going to be live action? Is there going to be other actors involved in it? Anything
I think
else?
it's going to be like a combination of animation and live action. It's kind of like Who Framed
that's my
Roger
first thought.
Rabbit.
That was my first thought.
Which, by the way, is an amazing film. If you have not seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I would highly recommend that for your movie watching list, because that is a classic movie. Just it's incredible, the blend of animation and live action. I'm going to take a page out of that book and apply it to my movie as well. So I don't have too many details yet, but I have the name of the movie, and around the summertime when the weather is nice and you're nice, and just keep an eye out for my upcoming movie.
Well, I hope there's a big premiere with a red carpet and everything, and then maybe, if you need a celebrity to come by and add a little class to it, I'll get an invitation.
I will keep that in mind. Absolutely.
No, that's very, very cool indeed. And again,
I'm glad you saw that post, because I was checking my Facebook, and this morning it said that my video had gotten over 200 views.
Wow.
So a lot of my friends have seen it.
Well, that's
I don't post it to the whole Facebook. I just post it to my friends' post, because there's a lot of, I don't care about the opinions of other people on Facebook, because that's very dangerous. I just care about my small circle of friends on Facebook, because those are the people that I truly care about, and I want them to see this. So.
I again think that it's wonderful you're expressing yourself in that way, and I think that is something.
We need more imagination in real life. We need more, people who love to be optimistic and creative and just thinking outside of the box. I think is very important, especially when it comes to making movies.
And if there's something that comes into your mind, folks, take the steps to make it happen.
Make a movie, do a music video, be
so-
involved in theater or high school sports.
Mhm.
You never know if you like something until you get out there and try it.
You're exactly right. And by the way, hearing about people that try things, we're going to talk to some of the young people that are involved in Shrek tomorrow.
Yes.
8:35 a.m. We'll hear from performers in Shrek the Musical. And that will be a lot of fun, definitely. So, again, we look forward to that. In fact, the next 2 days, we will be having conversations. We'll be talking again. They're with the SWEDA group, Central Wisconsin Education Theater Alliance,
Mhm.
and we will have a group of performers from the Central Wisconsin Children's Theater coming up on Wednesday. What was the show again?
It was called the Lady Pirates of Captain Bree.
There you go. You're on top of it. The Lady Pirates of Captain Bree. Then
The shows are actually coming up this weekend, I believe.
I think you're exactly right.
Mhm.
In fact, they had load-in day this weekend. I'm looking at their
yes,
their Facebook page. So.
Getting into the final rehearsals of Tech Week.
Yep. So I mean, talk about fun times, and it's always interesting to see how these shows just keep on coming. They roll along. There's very little downtime. If you're somebody that loves to see a good show, you're often going to be able to find one most weekends, I think, here in North Central Wisconsin. We're very fortunate about that.
Between a community theater and high school theater, there's going to be so many incredible shows happening.
You're exactly right. And by the way, how is rehearsals going for you so far? You're 1 week in, right?
Yep. Well, last week was the first official week of the spelling bee rehearsals, and we are making a lot of great progress. We've already started on the music and a little bit of the dancing as well. And this week we I believe this week, in addition to focusing more on the singing and dancing, we're going to be doing a little bit of blocking as well. We don't have a lot of time when it comes to this show, but it's coming along very nicely, and I'm very excited for people to come out and see this show.
Absolutely.
And we're going to keep talking about it because the marketing and getting the word out is very important.
Nope, you're exactly right. So, again,
especially when you have a cast this small,
you're
exactly very important to tell as many people as possible to really spread the word.
Well, we have to take a time out. I'm gonna ask you to play our bottom of the hour news update in this break, and we will be coming back. And I want to talk again about I think the fallacy that somehow somebody that is rich makes them better than everybody else, because I think we're finding out with the continuous number of names of rich and powerful people that have been connected with the Epstein files that it's not those folks that we have to be looking towards for guidance. It is the average person in our community. So I want to share the story about what we found out about the guy that runs the New York Giants football team, and how we can, I think, extend that in terms of saying who should we be admiring and who should we not be admiring. So that's coming up as we continue here on this Monday morning. Again, real quickly, I want to remind folks that when we're done here, turn on the radio, because after 10:06, I will be joining Greg Bach for a couple of segments on the mid-morning show here on Civic Media. So again, once we get done here at 10, flip over to WXCO on the airwaves and join myself with Greg Bach at 10:06. But right now, along with Ian Welsh, I am Chad Holmes. It is the Chad Holmes Show, live on WXCO's YouTube channel, WXCO.FM, and the Civic Media app, Sports Stream 2.
For WXCO News, I'm Isabella Nieto. The Marathon County Board will support an application for the county to receive grant funding aimed at bringing new talent to the area. At a meeting last week, the board voted to authorize a letter of support for an application for the funding submitted by the Greater Wausau Prosperity Partnership. County Administrator Lance Leonard explained the program to the supervisors.
It's a relocation program that essentially is aiming to bring people to the state of Wisconsin, specifically this grant would be to Marathon County.
This year is the first for the Talent Recruitment Grant Program, a program organized by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. The program aims to attract households that make at least $55,000 a year in annual income. A total of $5 million in funding is available statewide, with a $500,000 cap on the amount any single municipality can receive. Applicants have to provide matching funds equal to at least 20% of the total project cost through cash, local investment, and in-kind donations.
The Greater Wausau Prosperity Partnership is responsible for providing the match, as they're the grant applicant on behalf of the geographical region of the county. And as I understand it, there is not going to be a request from municipalities for any of those grant funds.
Earlier this month, Senior Director for the Prosperity Partnership, Renee Krings, gave a presentation on the program to the County Extension, Education, and Economic Development Committee. She said the partnership will turn to local foundations and community partners to provide the matching funds. The board voted to approve the letter of support for the partnership's application 30-4. I'm Isabella Nieto, and you're listening to WXCO News.
So, how are the kids?
Well, Emily made the honor roll.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, we're really proud of her. Tyler, on the other hand, though,
What's going on?
he's been moody lately, just feeling down and not like himself.
Oh, we've been there. Nick was struggling last spring. He was so anxious and stressed.
Really? What helped?
Well, he joined the soccer team, and ever since, he's been a lot happier. He has more energy, he's less stressed, and he's definitely in a better mood at home. It's made a huge difference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad he's getting out of the house, he's getting some exercise, and he's off his phone for once. It's been good for his mental health.
Sounds like it's been good for your mental health, too.
Participating in Wisconsin high school sports improves students' physical and mental health. Encourage your son or daughter to get involved. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
When I was young, it seemed that life was so wonderful, a miracle. Oh, it was beautiful, magical, and all the birds in the trees, well, they be singing so happily, oh, joyfully, oh, playfully, watching me. But then they sent me away to teach me how to be sensible, logical, oh, responsible, practical, and then they showed me a world where I could be so dependable, oh, clinical, oh, intellectual.
And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show, live on YouTube, youtube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel, also on WXCO.FM and the Civic Media app Sports 2 stream with Ian Welsh. I am the aforementioned Chad Holmes. And I mentioned the fact that, let me just sort of give the background on this story. On Friday, there was another dump of a lot of documents from the Epstein files. And a lot of, and one of the things that is interesting is I have no trust that the folks in the Department of Justice who are under the thumb of Donald Trump and his closest advisors are protecting Trump and friends of Trump. So you'll see a lot of folks that are part of these dumps who, it's unfortunate, I think, in a sense, that if you don't have the right connection, maybe you'll get caught in the stream. But at the same time, it's amazing the network of people that Jeffrey Epstein was able to get close to him. I mean, it's insanity. I mean, it's like he is involved in so many different areas of the world, whether it's the political world, the entertainment world, the sports world. I mean, he was just everywhere. And I mean, I don't know how, he must not have slept very much, but I mean, it's nuts. But I think one thing that I hope that this reckoning does is take away this glow of that somehow if you make a lot of money, if you're among the richest people in the world, that makes you better than somebody else. Because I have a theory, and I don't know if you agree with this theory or if folks out there agree with this theory.
Let me hear it.
And if you have a thought, 715-814-9330. Again, 715-814-9330. That there's this thought that what was my theory now? I gave it the exact theory, but this idea that the rich folks are somehow more talented. Oh, my theory. There it is. Here it is.
Okay, there you go.
I came back to me. The theory that I have is that if you or I or anybody else has one goal in life, I mean, literally, you spent 100% of your talents and your energies on just making money. Most people could make quite a bit of money, enough money to live very comfortably. But if your only goal, literally your only goal was to make money, not to find happiness in relationships, not to find friends, not to have hobbies, not to explore different interests, but your only goal, and again, nothing would take you off that laser-like focus of making money, that you could make money. I think that is not as hard as people may think it is. But if you want to have a balanced life, then maybe it's a little bit more difficult. And also, of course, I think connections have a lot to do with it as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like to have I do like to make money. I want to make sure I have enough to, do the things I want to do. But I also need a balance to, take a break from working and do something fun that's something I enjoy, and it gives me, comfort. It gives me satisfaction. I mean, and I'm not saying this because it's me. I'm just stating this. My dad is a businessman. He spends a lot of his life, doing business with other people and making money and making sure that he can support my family. And there's nothing against that. My dad works very hard for his money, but sometimes, he and I don't always agree on, that money is, not the only thing that matters in life. It's just you need a time to, have fun, make connections, do things that you enjoy, and not have to worry about the financial aspect of it. But on the other side, you do have to work hard for your money so that you can afford to do the things that you really want to do, like go to Disney World or.
It's all a balance. That's what it is. It's a balance.
Yeah.
But
it's
also
all about balance, because money cannot buy happiness. However, money can help you support that happiness for you and your family.
And sometimes money can get you into trouble. And the story
Yes,
I
it
wanted
can.
to share involves the chairman and co-owner of the New York Football Giants. Man is named Steve Tisch. And it also adds a layer of one of my favorite topics, which is nepotism, because I think there's way too much nepotism in this world where
Basically, like if your family, you instantly get hired for a job,
or you
regardless of your experience. Because there was actually a good example of nepotism. There was a theater director at DC Everest, and I'm not going to name names, but they would cast their children as the lead role in a certain show. I believe it's just for 1 year, because I think it stopped. But they put their child in a lead role regardless of how their audition was, and then a lot of people were very unhappy about that. But no, I agree with you. I mean, nepotism is a very serious problem. I mean, the Green Bay Packers had to deal with that when there was I forget his name, but it was someone that was related to someone on the Packers who got to be a part of the coaching staff just because that they had a family connection. I don't know their name, but I do remember
There's a
my dad
lot
talking
of
about
that. There is a lot of that.
It's a very serious problem.
And the co-owner, Steve Tisch, received the team from his father. It's, again, where often you'll see these very wealthy folks who are born on third base think they hit a triple. No, they started on third base. But Steve Tisch, according to an article in The Athletic, which is part of the New York Times, says convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein connected New York Giants chairman and co-owner Steve Tisch with multiple women, according to newly released emails. And Tisch received scouting reports, not on football players, but on women from Epstein. And the two men discussed whether women were pro or civilian, or a working girl. The emails sent in 2013 were among more than 3 million Epstein-related documents that the Department of Justice released Friday. There are also emails between Epstein and women who wrote about their encounters with Tisch. In addition to being the co-owner of the Giants, Tisch is also a film producer. His father had purchased 50% of the team in 1991. And then after his father died, he became the chairman of the team in 2005. Once this information came out, the Giants provided a following statement from Tisch. And this is a point I want to make after I read everybody seems to be saying a lot of the same things.
Okay.
He goes, "We had a brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women." He's trying to make sure that people think that, or he's trying to imply that they weren't underage women, underage girls, which Epstein was involved with. But again, we had a brief association where we exchanged emails about adult women, and in addition, we discussed movies, philanthropy, and investments. Oh boy. I did not take him up on any of his invitations and never went to his island. As we all know now, he was a terrible person and someone I deeply regret associating with. All the people that are coming up in these emails, that's what they're saying. Oh, he is terrible. I really wish I was never involved with him. The only reason they're saying that is because they got caught. So many of these folks, 2013, this occurred after Epstein had already been convicted of underage involvement and basically in a plea bargain. So, the ultimate plea bargain guilt on his legal troubles in 2008 was not probably as bold as the actual events that led to him being arrested.
Okay.
But everybody that has been involved with Epstein that are being caught in these emails and the Epstein file dumps keeps saying, oh, number one, they always say, make it sound like it wasn't much there. It was a brief relationship. I wasn't friends with him forever and ever and ever. They all say that. Then they always say, well, Epstein's a terrible person, and I deeply regret ever being involved with him. It all comes across as everybody is putting out excuses. There has to be some sort of accountability here. We talk a lot about accountability. The National Football League has to make Steve Tisch accountable here. And the idea that he didn't take him up on his invitations. Obviously, there was stuff going on here. He may or may not have gone to the Epstein Island. I don't know. But again, all these folks that are somehow entangled with Jeffrey Epstein, it shows again the idea that because you have money or you have political power doesn't make you better than anybody else.
He thinks you're above everybody else. You think that, but just because I have this money, that means I'm automatically more qualified. I'm better to do this than you. It's like, no, money does not equal experience.
And again,
as soon as people understand that,
and real quickly, this era as well. And I hope there is a backlash where over the last 50 years or so now, not quite 50 years, ever since the conservative Reagan revolution occurred, we have seen the tax rates for the wealthy just completely tank way down, because every idea that Republicans have involved tax cuts for the wealthy. But it's not just that. They have made changes to what was once known as the inheritance tax, but they turned it into the death tax to make it sound like, oh, this is so unfair that people are being taxed after they die. The point being is that because you're born on third base, you should not get a permanent ticket to extravagance.
Yeah.
That maybe if this country truly believes that everybody is equal, that everybody can pull themselves up by their bootstraps and become good citizens within our country and make good livings, somebody should not just be automatically super rich because they happen to win the genetic lottery. But we see, and it's also been another case where, again, Republicans feel as though the whole idea of trickle down economics. The idea is if you give a tax cut to the wealthy, that money that they get will trickle down to everybody else. I call it the crumbs off the table approach.
Yeah.
You know, they may have a huge meal, but you may get a couple of crumbs before all is said and done.
Basically table scraps.
Exactly. So again, this idea of glorifying the wealthy, and it's led to Donald J. Trump being thought of as some sort of
savior,
business genius. When you look at his business record, he has been bailed out over and over again. If I or you had been forced to go bankrupt multiple times, it would affect our standard of living. It's never affected his standard of living. He's never had to become one of the average folks that live check to check. He would always find a way to work the system and never have to move out of his palatial palaces and
his golden tower,
his golden toilets. And but again, the rules are all set up by the rich to benefit the rich. And I hope that maybe as more of these files come out from Jeffrey Epstein that show that the wealthy are not using their position in any way to help our society or our country as a whole, that maybe we'll have a reset, a rethink on how the federal government taxes the wealthy, or how we look at the wealthy generally, that somehow that, well, if we get a real businessman in as president, then he'll fix everything. Well, no, that doesn't happen.
No, it does not.
And just this idea that, Bill Gates was in there. Just a disgusting story. And there's a thought, oh, Bill Gates is a brilliant person. Well, brilliance and goodness are not mutually exclusive.
They're not.
They should, hopefully they would be, but often they're not. So again, it's just, I looked at that story. This guy was born into wealth. He's had every opportunity. He's been a film producer. You talk about fun. We were talking about you and your movie.
Yeah.
This guy had the opportunity to make some incredible movies over his career. He's been able to become owner of the New York Giants. What all of our dream is to be the owner of a football team, I think, to be able to call the shots, to be able to go into a private booth at every game, to be able to travel with the team everywhere.
Yeah, I don't have the money to make a, high budget movie. I'm making a movie with resources I already have and thinking outside of the box. I don't need like big sums of money to make a movie. I'm using my head and I'm using creative resources. I'm doing my research. And I'm actually making a plan. You don't need money to be successful. Honestly, if I have like a big budget and try to Hollywood this movie, I blow it out of proportion and lose the message I'm trying to convey.
But it is, Tish, in one of the emails between Epstein and the women in which they discussed meeting with Tish, some reference to possibility Tish could help them with their acting careers. Says, gonna meet Steve Tish next week for a dinner, the woman wrote. He said he's gonna work on 3 movies starting June, so I'll ask him if I can read scripts and maybe audition for some part. Just nuts.
Yeah.
So again, bring out the files. Let's get behind the screen a little bit here. Who are the good people and who are not the good people? And we're finding out who the not so good people are every time we see some of these batches of Epstein files come out.
And the trickle-down effect does not work. If it worked, a lot more people would have money to afford or rent for their houses or for food or for education. Just stop giving money to people who don't need it and give it to people who actually need it for, basic human needs, food, education, clothing, housing, things that people need to survive. You don't need a golden bathtub to survive. It'd be nice to have a golden bathtub, but nobody can afford that.
Yep, exactly right. So we got to take a time out. We'll come back, have our history lesson and our number for the day quiz to wrap things up. With Ian Welsh, I'm Chad Holmes. Chad Holmes Show on YouTube.com, WXCO.FM, Civic Media app, Sports 2 Stream. I'm Chad Holmes, joined former Wausau West head hockey coach B.J. Brandt and myself every Wednesday night from 6 till 8 p.m. for the Big High School Sports Show on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO on the Civic Media app, and also broadcasting live on the 98.9 WXCO YouTube channel. Each week we'll be talking high school winter sports. We'll review and preview the basketball and hockey action with both the boys and the girls, and each week we'll also be joined by an area head coach and a student athlete guest as well. It's the Big High School Sports Show every Wednesday night from 6 till 8 p.m. on Central Wisconsin's radio home for high school sports, 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO on the Civic Media app, and broadcasting live on YouTube.com and the 98.9 WXCO channel.
Local radio thrives when it serves the community. WXCO is no different, and we're looking to add someone to our staff that is well connected around town. Someone who can help our local businesses increase traffic and their visibility among our audience. From connecting clients with high school sports, local news and weather, or the Chad Holmes Show. If you know local business owners, we'd like to get to know you. If you'd like to know more about this opportunity, send me, Chad Holmes, a message at chad.holmes@civicmedia.us. That's chad.holmes@civicmedia.us. And let's set up a time to talk.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Wisconsin. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
And welcome back, Chad Holmes Show, 98.9 WXCO YouTube channel, WXCO.FM, Civic Media app, Sports Stream 2, and of course, every day after 10 o'clock, we will post online our podcast, and you'll be able to relive our show at your convenience. Today will be a shorter show because of the technical difficulties earlier on, but hopefully that is the last time we deal with technical difficulties in 2026.
Yeah.
Let's get it out of the way.
I hope so.
All right, it's time for our daily history lesson. Few people that were born on this date in history. James Joyce, one of the great authors, Irish-born author, born on this date in 1882. Noted for his experimental use of language and the exploration of new literary methods in such large works of fiction as Ulysses from 1922 and Finnegan's Wake in 1939. Joyce is regarded as one of the most influential writers of the 20th century. He died in early of 1941. Also born on this date in history, George Halas, the founder of the Chicago Bears, one of the founders of the National Football League. His family still owns the Bears. George Halas, born on this date in 1895. Anne Rand, American author. Not one of my favorites, but still significant, born on this date in 1905. And Shakira,
Oh,
beautiful Shakira, great musician
fantastic singer.
from Colombia. She hits in multiple languages.
Mm-hmm.
Shakira, born on this date in 1977. And if you out there celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to you from all of us at 98.9 WXCO.
Happy birthday.
Some famous events that occurred on this date in history. 2014, Philip Seymour Hoffman, terrific actor,
Oh, yeah.
died of a heroin overdose in New York City. On this date in 1990, South African President F.W. de Klerk lifted the 30-year ban on the African National Congress, resulting in Nelson Mandela's release from prison and marking the beginning of the end of apartheid. On this date in 1980, the FBI's undercover criminal investigation known as ABSCAM was revealed to the public. It resulted in the convictions of various elected officials on an assortment of bribery and corruption charges. On this date in 1979, Sid Vicious of the British band The Sex Pistols, known for his rebellious, nihilistic persona and his impact on punk rock music, died of a drug overdose in New York City. On this date in 1943, the Battle of Stalingrad in World War II ended with the surrender of German troops to the Soviets. Massive turning point in World War II.
Indeed.
And on this date in 1876, last week we told you about the formation of the American League for Major League Baseball.
Yep.
It was on this date in 1876 that the National League, the oldest existing Major League professional baseball organization in the United States, began play as the National League of Professional Baseball Clubs. And on this date in 1653, New Amsterdam, now known as New York City, was incorporated as a city. The bustling metropolis is the largest city in the United States. All right, time now for our number for the day quiz. Wrap things up, give Ian an opportunity to get off to a good start. We give him 3 choices, one of which is the correct number for the day. 2 are incorrect, so based on the math, 1 out of 3 he should be able to get. Anything above 33% is a passing grade. More right than wrong is a winning week. 4 out of 5 is an A grade, and 5 out of 5 is a perfect week where we celebrate big time.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, today
I'm ready.
it is Groundhog Day.
Yes, it is.
What year was Groundhog Day celebrated for the first time?
The very first time.
On this day, in what year did a group in Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, search for the rodent to predict the weather? They found a groundhog named Puxatawny Phil who saw his shadow, which meant 6 more weeks of winter were imminent. All right. So
Okay.
what year did Puxatawny, Pennsylvania start Groundhog Day?
Okay, what are my choices?
Your choices are 1857, 1887, 1917.
Okay.
So 1857, 1887, or 1917. What was the first Groundhog Day?
First Groundhog Day. Okay, I'm going to go with my instincts here. I'm going to say final answer. I'm going with 1887. Final answer, I'm going to say 1887 was the first Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day was celebrated for the first time in 1887.
Nice.
All right. Well, congratulations.
1 for 1 so far. It's a good start.
All right. Well, tomorrow morning we will welcome members of the cast of Shrek from Sweden at 8:35.
Awesome.
We will open up the phone lines for your thoughts. And don't forget, folks, tune in to 98.9 WXCO tonight for Wausau West hockey against Stevens Point, starting at 6:35 for the
Very big
pregame.
game.
Big.
Very big.
And also, I will be joining Greg Bach in about 5 minutes' time on mid-mornings, Civic Media mid-morning. So we'll see what Greg wants to talk about with me. So I will be with Greg Bach coming up in about 5 minutes or so. Ian, do you have a rehearsal tonight?
Yes, I do. I have rehearsal every night this week.
All
So I'll be
right.
busy.
Well, have fun at your rehearsal, and we will catch you tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Chad. Happy Monday, everybody. Have a great day.
And join us tomorrow morning starting at 8:06 on 98.9 WXCO.